complicated as it looks, folks. Well, I am a pilgrim, and I'm a stranger. I'm traveling through this old wearisome land. And I got a home in that yonder city, oh Lord, and it's not made by hand. Now I got a mother, got a sister and brother, and they have gone on before. And I'm determined just to go and see them. I'll see them on that other shore. When I go down to the river of Jordan, I will bathe my old wearisome soul. I could touch but the hem of his garment, I do believe would make me whole. Now when I'm dead, I'm laying in my coffin, and all my friends, they are gathering around. They can't say that I am just there asleep in sweet peace my soul will have found. 'Cause I'm a pilgrim, and I'm a stranger. I'm traveling through this old wearisome land. I got a home in that yonder city, Lord, and it's not made by hand. No, it's not made by hand.
It's a tough act to follow. Lots of moving parts this morning. Good morning, everyone. So nice to see a full house. My name is Peg Hunter, and I'm a member of the board here at QUUF. Welcome into this day at Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, a liberal religious congregation founded in 1976 and bound together to serve religious freedom, caring community, and social justice. As we gather, I acknowledge that the water, land, and shorelines here in Port Townsend are the traditional territory of the Sklallam and Chimicum peoples. We honor and acknowledge our Indigenous members and neighbors and vow to help restore and sustain these homelands. If you're visiting today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in the fellowship hall, which is out that door and to the right. After the service, we have a newcomers table near the patio doors where our greeters are ready to answer any questions you might have. So may the welcome we offer you be in equal measure to the one in our hearts. We pause to briefly do some essential business of our congregation. We have a few announcements. For the next couple of weeks, we will have limited kitchen access while the dishwasher is being repaired. This is clearly the business of the church here. This gives us all a chance to simplify our lunch experience while being as green as possible. Here's the modified plan for next week. On Sunday, January 18th, please, I hope people have registered for this. Following the Sunday service, we will gather for a bring-your-own-sack lunch. Drinks will be provided. At noon, we will move to the sanctuary back in here for an all-congregation workshop with Sarah Millspaw from the Pacific Western region of the UUA. What?
Away.
What?
Away. Away.
Not in the
Away. A wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy. A wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy. Wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy. A wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy, a wimboy. In the church, the lovely church, the new rep preaches today. In the church, the stunning church, the new rep preaches today. Near the golf course, the flat green golf course, the new rep preaches today. Near the golf course, the vast green golf course, the new rep preaches today. Hush, Dawn, don't fear, Dawn, you'll soon learn all our names. We're glad you're here to replace the cutout, 'cause it was very strange.
Again, a tough act to follow. And now we come to a bittersweet moment. Before we welcome our in-person, in-the-flesh, much-anticipated interim minister, Reverend Don Rollins, we need to retire this guy. He has been with us for months now. He stood in the foyer, he posed behind the pulpit, he participated in the holiday celebrations wearing a Santa hat, and he even joined the choir. He also reportedly scared the living daylights out of Janelle when she came into the office after hours, and there he was, lurking. He has been a good sport as a placeholder for Don, but let's face it, folks, he has kind of a flat affect. And his personality is pretty one-dimensional. It's difficult to read his mood since his expression doesn't really change that much, not to mention his clothes. And he clearly lied about his height during the interview process. And he claimed to be flexible in his approach to ministry, but frankly, I just don't see it. Given all of that, your board has determined that it is time to part with this guy. His future is uncertain, but I suspect that he may show up around here from time to time. Now, if you will please join me, we will send him on his way. Thank you, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. And now it gives me great pleasure to welcome the real Don Rollins, our new interim minister. He'll be up here in just a moment. First, let us settle our minds and calm our hearts.
So, we light this chalice today with these words from Reverend Don Rollins, our newly arrived accredited interim minister. We dedicate this bowl, symbol of our Universalist heritage of love, despite hatred, and symbol of our stubborn faith that love will and must have the final say. We dedicate this flame, symbol of our Unitarian heritage of unity despite division, symbol that we share a common fate and unity must have the final say. So come into this circle of bowl and flame, join sides with love, be caught up in the quest for unity, stretch your soul, find your faith. Love and unity await you right now, right now. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in our opening hymn to welcome Reverend Don to QUUF.
And we'll sing the first verse twice, as we usually do.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. One more time. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Folks who want to share a song with me, story song, get on down here. Come on down. Children, youth, caregivers, anybody else? Hello. Who is that new guy? Hello. Wow, we all have our own church. We have our own congregation right here, which means you all can listen, but it's about us right now. Okay. So, look, my name is Don, and I get to be your minister for a while. I get to be with you as you kind of do story stuff with me. We'll do some music. And then my wife's name is Mary, and she's much better at this than me. You're really going to enjoy her. But here's a quick story for you. So when I first started out, and I was still kind of tall then too, I'm going down a hallway at the congregation, and it's really crowded because the adults and the kids are going back and forth. And I keep bumping into something, and I look down, it wasn't something, it was someone. there was a girl who was looking up to me. And I thought, what must she see? Nose holes. That's what she sees, are my nose holes. So I thought, let's write a song about that. So what I'm going to do, your part is going to be to sing that with me. Those of you with graduate degrees, I always enjoy listening to you sing as I say the words nose holes. There's a certain pleasure about that. So here's how it goes. Nose, let me get that pitch. Nose holes, you got big nose holes. All you're showing me are those nose holes. You know, the nose holes are all I can see. Okay, that's your part. I'll make sure I get mine. Well, I can't see your face, and I can't see your eyes. Now tell me, how are we gonna relate? If you're twice my size, you got big old nose holes. You got big nose holes. All you're showing me are those nose holes. Yeah, your nose holes, they're all I can see. Tell me, how's the weather way up there? Ah, please, mister, don't you sneeze. You know, it would only be fair if you got down on your knees and stopped giving me nose holes. You got big nose holes. All you're showing me are those nose holes. Your nose holes are all I can see. Tell me, am I a part of you? Tell me, are I a part of me? How are we gonna work this through if those two big old pipelines are all I see? Stop giving me nose holes. You got big nose holes. All you're showing me are those nose holes. Yeah, your nose holes, they're all I can see. Yeah, your nose holes are looking at me. Yeah, your nose holes are all I can see. You sing really well. You sing really well. So I will get to hang with you a lot of times, and what we'll do is kind of do story and song stuff, and I want you to get involved. I'll ask you questions, and we'll have a little bit of time together. But remember, my name is Don, and I get to be your minister for a while. So it's so good to meet you. I hope classes go really well for you today. Bye now. Folks are going to make an arch for you as you leave.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you everywhere.
Now, we pause for a time of generosity and to receive an offering. Today, our offering goes to the winter shelter, and Karen Clemens is here to tell us a little bit about their work. Karen, would you like to come up?
I'm Karen Clemens. I'm the Director of Development at Bayside Housing and Services. And actually, I'm here to talk about the Jefferson County Emergency Shelter, which is different from the Winter Warming Center, as Julia Cochran will tell you. And I count on her to do so if she wants to do that a little later. At any rate, the emergency shelter is housed in the basement of the American Legion, and which is in downtown Port Townsend. We serve between 28 to 38 people per night. My understanding is that we have 28 beds, but we expand as the weather requires and as the number of people who want to stay there requires. So the population of the shelter is not quite evenly divided. There are men, there are women. Right now there are more men than women. And most of them are seniors, at least over 50, and I am sure most of them actually are over 60. The shelter is staffed by a manager and by 2 other staff who are there every night, making sure that people are safe and housed and fed. There are laundry facilities, so our guests have the opportunity to do laundry if they like. And as many of you in this congregation will know, each night the guests are served a warm meal, and this group has provided that meal weekly, every month. So you play a huge role in the success of the shelter. Thank you so much. How many of you have been involved in that? Well, look who I'm talking to. All I've ever done is deliver the meals. In weeks when we haven't been able to secure volunteer groups to provide the meals, the restaurant with which we're associated, Spirits Bar and Grill, prepares trays of food, and we have volunteers bring it down to the shelter. And that's always been one of my favorite things to do. In a pinch, when there is no one else to drive it, I break away from my desk and I drive the meal down around 5 o'clock, and my car has never smelled so good. And I have never wanted to eat so much as when I'm trapped in the car with prawns and pasta and garlic bread and green salad. It's just amazing. And I can only imagine what you prepare. I'm sort of food focused, so I keep talking about food, but I hear that a lot of Greek and Mediterranean offerings coming out of this group. Fantastic. At any rate, they enjoy an evening meal, they have a cold breakfast, and before they leave for the day, they bring a sack lunch with them. Bayside has taken over the contract for running the shelter. We did that at the beginning of last year, and our contract has been renewed by Jefferson County. So the staff that work with us there and the expenses of running the shelter are essentially covered by the county. But we have been able to bring some improvements. We have our case managers visiting weekly, and I've been told that this is the first time case managers have been to the shelter. They make a weekly visit to talk to the guests and see if there are simple ways that they might help them. And as a result of these conversations, 10 of the guests since July have found permanent housing in Jefferson County. So thank you. It's such a simple thing to do. They just spend 2 hours a week there, as I understand it, but sometimes it just takes one simple thing to make a big change in someone's life. We have found the same thing to be true of the work that we do through J.C. Mash Free Clinic. Bayside began managing the free clinic in 2023, and its offices are at Woodley Place in Port Hadlock. But the volunteer doctors who work with us in the afternoons spend one afternoon a week at the shelter talking to people about their health, their physical health, but more importantly, their mental health, which is a huge issue with this population. And I can only imagine. I have not been in contact with it as much as our case managers, of course, or as much as many of you. Mine is a desk job. I raise funds for Bayside, and I have a really nice, warm office, and that's where I spend a lot of my time. But there are people in such need, it just blows my mind. And once a week, our volunteer doctors are able to have long conversations that I think are making a difference. And I know that our executive director, Gary Keister, is committed to expanding the kind of care that Discovery health, behavioral health, is able to offer in this county, because it's so important that we begin to master the systemic issues that are contributing to this issue. It's not just about finding affordable housing, it's about giving people health care. Many of the people that our volunteer docs have talked to haven't been seen by a doctor in years. So this is really important work. Bayside is privileged to have the opportunity to have this period of time to manage the shelter, to try to bring what improvements it can. And I thank you all for the support you've given and for the support that you'll be giving today through your offering. I'm always humbled when we do our count once a year. There are 13 faith-based organizations in Jefferson County that provide support to Bayside and by extension to the emergency shelter, and we're very grateful for that support. I guess I just wanted to end with one last thing. There's not only the support that you've provided before, that you're providing today, but there are ways that you can help in an ad hoc fashion throughout the year. You could purchase and deliver frozen family-style meals from the store for the shelter staff to have on hand on days when groups are not available to cook. You could purchase and deliver items that can be used for sack lunches, like cookies, fruit, chips, sandwich bread, lunch meat, cheese, sandwich bags, wax paper. We all remember our sack lunches from childhood. Purchase and deliver items that are used in food preparation or personal hygiene items. Aluminum foil, I'm just going to read. Aluminum foil, parchment paper, latex gloves of all sizes, paper lunch bags, resealable sandwich bags, paper napkins, coffee, creamer, new socks and underwear, razors, toothbrushes, and Julia reminded me, laundry pods and towels. Remember, guests have the opportunity to do laundry, but they probably don't come with their own laundry pods, so that's a real help. At any rate, what would you add, Julia, to what I've said about the shelter?
Oh, that I'm grateful for this community that has supported us in offering a meal a week, and please help them continue.
It's huge. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. Now the ushers will come among you to receive the offering. Additional ways for giving will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. This fellowship is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it.
May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never cry about these windows. May the glory and rain go by.
Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Now, this next time is set aside to share joys and sorrows. We recognize that our personal joys and sorrows are only a fragment of the joys and sorrows of the larger community of life, and thus we place this first stone, thinking in particular of the people of Venezuela who are victims of the times. May their suffering be our suffering. Goes. Never mind, I forgot where it went. I've only done this a dozen times, or two more, anyway. And now within the congregation, we light a candle for Dean and Kathy Carr, who were married in Chicago at Second Unitarian Church in 1976. Are they here? Yes, yes, there they are. And they're now celebrating their 50 years of love and partnership. Congratulations, Dean and Kathy. Now we light a candle of joy for the 20th birthday of Ethan Edward Terrell, grandson of Nan Toby Terrell. May his days be filled with hopes and challenges as he makes his way at Butler University. Now, sadly, we place a stone for the life of Nancy Shipley, who died on December 27th at the age of 95. Nancy was a former long-term and very active member of QUUF. She had a stroke some months ago and had been at Life Care since that time. Nancy was a loving mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. Until her stroke, she led a weekly knitting group in her home and was always willing to share her expertise with new knitters. No memorial services planned, but she will be sorely missed. Now we place a final stone, holding in our hearts the joys and sorrows I've just shared, but also thinking of such joys and sorrows among us that are unexpressed but of no less importance.
Hello again, everybody. Thank you for that raucous welcome. Thanks those with the graduate degree singing nose holes. It's all good. Some of us are very busy. Some of us are very lonely. Some of us are lonely and we are busy. We are all kinds of things and all kinds of people in one body and one spirit and one mind. Body and spirit and mind need rest. I'm not very good at that, but let's just be clear. This is not my strong point, but it is my aspiration. It is my commitment to being a human being and to being a human being in ministry. All that is to say, let's settle in, friends. Let's take a little time to begin to say, this is the time that we have. Let's be together. If it's easier for you to monitor your breath, this is the time to do it. If that's not for you, don't. Maybe find a focal point somewhere to just be able to let the mind take a break. So join me in the silence, and I'll offer some words to help us as we meditate. This can be our rest times. This is a time we let whatever comes up, come up. We seek not a method in this moment. We seek the moment itself. So take 3 breaths with me. Feel the in-breath in the middle and the out-breath. Remember that joins us. Whatever comes up, comes up. And in this time, we are not invited to just settle down. are invited to settle in. We choose to settle in, to lean in. If there is pain, we let it lean in. If it's peace, lean in. We can settle in with the wonder and the confusion and the search for the holy. We can decide right now to lean into and not away from whatever it is that's surfacing in this very moment. For this moment is all we have. Maybe all we need. So let our breathing and our settling in be reminders that we are called to be better, inch at a time, experience at a time. Not all has to be well as we settle in. We only have to show up. So we give the nod to love and joy and sorrow and depression and. Let us settle in so we can see what's going to happen. And amen.
I really circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. But something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
Thanks, everybody. I needed that. So, first of all, meet Mary Bracy, my partner, and as I say a little later, the most patient person on earth, clearly. Mary, would you stand and say howdy to these folks? So, time is going to be tight. So what's going to happen is those of you who are caregivers or you have some place you have to be, it is okay, especially those who are caregivers who need to take care of your children or youth, then do that. It's okay. So I'm going to start with too many thank yous because we'd just be here for the rest of my time. Let's not do that. What I can say to you is that we are tired. It has been a not easy move, and I'm not just whining because we're both pretty tough. But it's been a tough move, and we are so fortunate. We say those things, folks. We are fortunate to be together. So what I know about myself is I will get a tad weepy or grumpy or fill in the blank whenever I am this tired. So that's just a fair warning, folks. We'll be fine. Anyway, thank you so much. And I just never had a welcome like this. I've never had expectations like this. I've never been outnumbered like this. So yeah, my next blog, and those of you who are new with us, by the way, you must get a mind blow this morning if it's your first time with us. But in any case, the weekly update is the organ, the published way to find stuff out. I encourage you to look at that next week. I'll talk about some of the parameters like hours and all that kind of stuff, but that's not for today. Here's how it usually goes when I start or enter an existing interim ministry. Your side, what's going on? Dude is taller than we thought. Dude is balder than we thought. Dude is old, and dude may be funnier than we thought. That's what usually goes on. Friends, if you don't by now know some of my personal history, you're living on the proverbial rock because I have been everywhere and talking about my journey, and it's just been great. But if that's all you get to do, find something else because my story is interesting, but not all that. Short version, really short version, I am from southeast Ohio. That is the Appalachian part of the state. It is not Cleveland. It is not Columbus. It is West Virginia and Kentucky. That is where I come from. This is my 10th interim ministry. It will be my last. I promise you this. I use him, his program, he, him pronouns, and again, married to quite possibly the most patient and supportive person on this earth. Mary is a mother of 4, professional caregiver, great storyteller. You will hear from her along the way. And again, did I say the most patient, supportive person on planet Earth? Let's get this moving. It's sometime in June or July 2025. I'm coming off what Mary and I swore we were done with. We were done with this life on the road. Enough moving, enough packing, enough arrangements, And let's get real, enough coaxing some congregations to function in not just 2025 fashion, but get them thinking about 2035 and 2045. That is hard work. Change at that level is hard. The money would be tighter if we didn't get back in the market. A new adventure would be forfeited. But I'm pushing 70 now. Money and adventure do not hold the same lure as before. The old house still needs tending, and trust me, I have a wonderful ministry right now as hospital and assisted living facility 5 minutes away. I am now a chaplain. So enough is enough. I still write for Progressive Alternate Press tabloid. Songwriting continues to call. Again, enough is enough. Stay away from that list of openings at the UUA Transitions website. Just don't. Don't do it, man. And then comes the dreaded interim itch. Strange, uninvited, sometimes wholly tug to check out that interim list. Again, I'm not 40, I'm not 50, I'm not 60, I'm almost 70. Please, enough. But the itch is there. The abilities are there. Yes, the body says I'm 70, but we can do this. Otherwise, I'm not here. Fast forward a couple weeks, and I'm in serious mode with some congregation in coastal Washington state. Serious conversations with Mary and Sue. High cost of living out there, but we're already thinking about buying a used Subaru. I'm going to guess they got some used Subarus out there. So that would check a box. That would check a box. We love swimming in the ocean. They've got an ocean out there, so that'll be great too. Another plus. Think of the money we will save on sunscreen. We got to give us some thought. One quick aside, by the way, in 1984, I'm sitting in my office as a religious educator at my first congregation. There is this thick book, this listing of UU congregations throughout North America. I target some. I want to serve on Prince Edward Island, Canada. I did. I want to work in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I did. Ontario, I did. Las Cruces, I did. Oregon, I did. I swear to God to you, I looked at the rugged coast and I saw 2 congregations, 2 ports, Angeles and Townsend. So from a distance, we have been talking for a good long time. But that's a big deal. So came the responses from the committee. If you want to live in a great place, we got it. If you want to work with a healthy congregation, we got it. If you want to work with an amazing staff, we got it. By the way, Rosanna, if you need a place to live, we got it. Thank you, Betty. If you want to borrow a car till your shows up, we got that too. So yeah, how do you get in the way of that sacred call? Offer eventually accepted. 1 contract for the rest of 2025. And please know, I've been serving you for almost 6 months. So it feels like a startup, but not so much. So 1 contract for the rest of 2025, a second for the calendar year 2026. It's a hinky schedule, but I've seen hinky before. My first new job, virtual job, is August 18. So next up, my injured right shoulder is holding up quite well, still is, but let's go ahead and have the surgery before we head out. And then my advantage plan, you can fill in the blank for yourselves. My advantage plan said 45 days before we're going to approve this. And then my surgeon said it's going to be 6 weeks out from the approval. So, time to tell the board, the stars will just not line up. 3 options. Continue with me on a virtual, mostly consulting basis. Begin a second search for another minister. Continue without professional ministry and whatever else you all want to do with your regional staff. And then the boards, a few folks suggested, what about having the surgery out here? I'm keeping the scar tissue at bay. I exercise, so have full motion, some strength. We'll time this right. We'll figure it out. You have sick and vacation, continuing ed time, we'll figure it out. I say to them, I'm still a quick healer. We'll figure it out. More virtual work for the time being when I'm down, and then we'll figure it out. Rehab, pacing, all that stuff. We'll figure it out. I am not a lazy minister. And that board is with me now. They too know we can do this. So here we are, friends. Here we are, 6 months of virtual ministry behind us, and here we finally are. Call it magic, call it destiny, call it God, the deities, fate, or I was just the 5th choice on a 5-candidate list. It doesn't matter right now, because here we are. So here comes the most important part, friends. What shall we do now that I'm here? For real, what are we going to do? What story will we write together? Straight up, how do we want to be remembered by our children? In a profound article from the Christian Century, a progressive magazine, very insightful, educator and author Kelly Brown Douglas places these questions solely in our court. How shall we be remembered, she tells us. History is not merely what happened, but what we make of the present. Not what happened, but what we make of the present. It is how we live the time we are given. We are not innocent spectators, but participants, even if we participate passively in history's unfolding. She continues, the future is not fixed. It is shaped by the moral choices we make today, by the stories we live and the stories we tell. We have to own the world we have made and take responsibility for the world we're trying to make over. I wish I'd written that stuff. Yikes. Borrowing from where I come from, when I hear these words, I'm reminded of the fundamentalist saying, them right there are hard words, because they are. Brown Douglas is telling you and me we are not bystanders, that we separate those things that we can't control from the things we can, and we get on with it, and we choose accordingly. You and I will craft the story that will be told about your congregation for the year 2026. We will decide how we want to be remembered, how well we embody the ancestors' dreams and their sweat and their donating. We need not to embarrass them. So we will decide these things because we have inherited them. And then there's perspective, friends. Not far from where we are right now, there are people who sleep in the rain tonight. Donald Trump really is in the White House. It is hard to be a Unitarian Universalist right now because we are in such transition, glorious transition by my light. But that's where we are. So friends, times are hard, but it's on us. And we are partners. We have been partners. And you and I will decide what comes next. Where to begin with the intra-ministry partnership on my side. There's a great Latin phrase I picked up in cemetery. Yes. I finally said it. All these years of trying not to say that. Here we are. Yeah. Yes, this is what your board said yes to, by the way. This is what you're paying for right here. There is a wonderful old Latin phrase I like so much, via negativa. You don't have to be a Latin expert to get it. Going at something from the negative, what it is not, and then getting to what it is. For example, the New York Yankees really aren't a very good baseball team. The Seattle Mariners are a very good baseball team. Can I get an amen? All right, via negativa, what it ain't, and then moving on to what it is. So friends, I offer up some thoughts here. How will we not be remembered? If we get it right, what stories will not be told about us via negativa? No one will care how many agenda items we didn't get to in that meeting. They will not give a hoot. Those who follow us will not give a hoot if we didn't check every box on every part of the perfect interim ministry. They won't care. Our singing off key and out of time will not damage your children's eardrums. They don't really care. And up the road, it won't matter to anybody anywhere if the order of service gets tweaked because the interim asked the question, if we keep doing the same things in the same way, what are we missing? What are we missing? Via negativa. Let's not do everything the same way. It's what is by way of what is not. Younger folks in the room, bear with me here as I use a world-class boomer reference for what comes next. For 4 years, 2005 through 2009, National Public Radio broadcast the series, This I Believe. Somebody just made a noise. You remember? Yes. It's based on a model from the 1950s. It featured essays from persons describing their core beliefs. They were the opposite of via negativa. It talked about those things that kept them alive, things that were good for the planet, things that were good for the children. Positive, affirming stuff, the opposite of via negativa. Friends, you and I can move Kelly Brown Douglas's moral needle with positivity, even if we have to fake it till we make it, to quote from the AA tradition. Here's some suggestions from my end, folks, some positive things we might do. Let's think, let's talk, let's feel with the same courage as the ancestors, right down to those who first populated these grounds. Can we be so bold, take so many risks, be so flexible? And let me put a parenthetical here. Folks, your leadership have let me do my job so far, and I thank you for that. So can we walk together and look at some of those best practices and those ideas and say, sometimes I don't anymore bring them up, but it's the best thing I know to offer you. So let's think internally too. Let's keep this thing going with our association. Let's call out our own isms and our own phobias and our own supremacy cultures. It's okay. We can do this, for these are affronts to who we say we are. These are insults. So, can we continue to covenant to not be, that's a via negativa, can we never stop being the angry yet loving people we sing about in that song? Let's be bold with me in taking stock of how you organize and how you worship, how you care for one another, how you grow your souls, how you look after your children, youth, and the people who look after them. Encourage one another in these dangerous times. Can we be allies with the earth and the air and the waters? Can we fund, did I say it? Can we fund your mission? And then join the ranks for justice. I'm watching the clock, friends, so I'm going to speed up. And let me return to something I said earlier, and that is perspective. Let me say something again. Perspective in everything we do. There are people who will sleep outside tonight. There are wars on 4 continents. Donald John Trump appears to be here with us for the long haul. Perspective. Grace and mercy have become acts of defiance. So let's practice grace and mercy with one another right here. We have the chance to experiment in this laboratory we call a congregation. Partners, in the end, let it be said of us, we were falling down, train wreck, humans, if ever, but we never lost perspective. So, let me close with a reference to a great story. In her children's book, Georgia Music, in her children's book, Georgia Music, author Helen Griffith tells us about a young girl who spent a summer with her grandpa in Georgia. They worked the garden together, and some evenings grandpa played the mouth organ, harmonica. He said it sounded like the bumblebees and the grasshoppers and the crickets. And they would hear those crows, and he would say, sassy old birds. The harmonica sounded like these things. But soon Soon Grandpa, growing in Washington. But soon Grandpa couldn't take care of himself, so he moved up north to be with his daughter and his granddaughter. And Grandpa rarely spoke now. He was unhappy in these new surroundings. Until the day the girl brought a mouth organ with her as she visited. And she made those sounds, the crickets, katydids, the crows. She made those sounds with that harmonica. And Grandpa woke up. Grandpa smiled. Grandpa whispered, "Sassy old bird." Folks, Grandpa was remembered for his music. I ask you again, for what shall we be remembered? I am such a great journey with you. And thank you for waiting for all this time. And the things that are before us, the obstacles, the things we got to figure out, we'll do that. We're going to be okay. So, good to see you, folks. Circle being broken. So look at, on the theme again of stories, Will the Circle Be Unbroken is, for many of you know, a classic family hymn from the 1920s and 30s, depending on who you want to argue with about the origins, the original verses, you can fight over that. There's so much stuff going on with that song. Remember that it's a story. What's happened is that the matriarch of the family has passed. She is so sorely missed. The grief is everywhere. So as the family begins to grieve, they find words for the grief to express those things going on. And that's how we get the original Will the Circle Be Unbroken. So if you're looking for a happy song, this will not be it. If you're looking to rear back and just sing like Methodists, you have come to the right place. So, would you rise as you're able and willing in either spirit or body as we sing, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Words will be overhead. We have not just a fiddle, but a violinist to help us out with this. Thank you, Kristin. Choir practice a little bit too. Those of you who don't know it, those of you who do, sing very softly so those who don't can hear us. We're going to do the chorus alone, okay? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I was standing by my window on a cold and a cloudy day when I heard that verse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Here we go. Now will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, won't you please rise so for that body you are hauling? Oh, I hate to see her go. Now will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. So I follow close behind her, try to hold up and be brave, but I could not hold my sorrow when they laid her in that grave. Now will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a sky, Lord, in the sky. Illinois, you clipboards, but some things are still on the truck coming in, so that's where we are. Friends, take your story and spin it out into the world. The world needs stories. Sing it out until you recognize that song as your own and you say, hey, that's me. And then rejoice that your spirit has found a home. Rejoice that your story is welcome right here.